Our Ghana missionaries arrived in West Africa with open hearts and open hands, ready to be used by God. The team consisted of members of Mt.Gilead and members of Rhema International Ministries in Albany, Georgia. In unity, they flowed under the leadership of our senior pastor, Bishop Daniel Robertson Jr., and Pastor Julian Dangerfield of Shalom Outreach.
Speaking of the power of connection, I think that's the thing that made this trip so different than any other. Bishop declared that he was a member of our host church.
Amen.
End Time Revival Center.
Yes.
And so then we became members of End Time Revival
Amen.
Center.
Amen.
And so as members, when I went to children's church, it was like I was home all over again.
Amen.
The teachers and I had this bond and unity, and then the musicians in their youth orchestra and I had another kind of bond, and it was just one thing on top of another, and we could not even imagine that we were just meeting each other that day.
The churches and the program was, so well developed that it had an opportunity for everybody to do something. To preach, to teach, to sing. We was operating like transformers. we was all like one body, one mind, one spirit, one Christ. And we just had so much fun. Krista and I was on the same team, and Minister Allen and Coach Giles, and all of us, strategically piggyback off one another. It's like the whole church got saved. Even the pastor came up and got poured into.
The first night that we ministered, it was Elder Eric ministered on believing God for the supernatural.
You can do it in my body.
You can do it in my body.
You can do it in my finances.
You can do it in my finances.
You can do it in my pastor.
You can do it in my pastor.
You can, let's go.
And so each day we went out into the villages to evangelize.
And every night, it was a weeknight, and many of the people walked to get to the church. But nevertheless, they pressed their way and they were there.
Amen.
And every night there were more people. And Friday night, a lot of the chairs were full. I don't care what type of altar call you had.
Yes.
They were coming.
Yes.
It's like they saw us come in, and God used us as a beacon of hope and light for them.
The one thing that stuck out to me was our opportunity that we got to go to actually the schools and the orphanages and the rehabilitation centers, and they're ready for God, and they're just so excited when we came. They were just they wanted prayer. It's a difference in the United States, as we know, but the kids over there, they're hungry for God, and they're ready because they're being taught at an early age to follow Jesus.
Yes.
So, and that was a great thing. And then we went to an orphanage, and there we got a chance to take the kids some things that they don't have. So they was excited about that.
And our Ghana missionaries had the opportunity to go back to the hospital maternity ward in Mampong to see improvements made since 2014 when we first sowed toward renovations. This year, we dedicated new 3,000-watt solar panels.
To where it gave them enough power till they could run their AC, lights their hallways that wasn't even planned to be there.
Yes.
Mt.Gilead, they took their money, they put sheetrocks on walls, they put ceramic tile down hallways, and even at the time we was there, the lady was having a baby. So immediately we were like, oh, we gotta get out of here. So I said, Bishop, I'm waiting for y'all out here. So they came on out also. But God was showing us that seed, but at the same time was bringing life while we was there.
Yes.
They gave the testimony that before that, women was dying monthly, babies was dying monthly. But at that particular time, until this day, only 2 babies had died and no mothers at all since that seed was sown in that place. And they wanted to televise it through the whole place in Ghana and throughout Africa, and it was amazing.
Our Ghana team also had the opportunity to create a mock wellness center, washing the feet of the pastors and leaders.
And to watch Brother Sean wash the feet of a man and just a breaking take place.
Amen.
That I didn't understand, that no one else in that room knew but he and God. And to see him just get set free and delivered in the midst of washing someone's feet and praying for them I said, God, only you could do this.
Yes, man.
To have a woman come to us that night at revival, and she said, I have to be honest and say that I fell yesterday and I had injured myself. She said my hip and my leg were hurting so bad that I was in tears. And Minister Tammy had literally was the one that had washed her feet and prayed for her from Albany, Georgia. And she said, after she washed my feet, I don't know what happened, but I haven't felt any pain. My hip has not hurt at all.
Glory to God.
She said, I danced tonight like I'd never danced before. That's when you know, God, it's all for your glory.
Yes.
All for the glory of God. The most amazing manifestation of His power occurred while Bishop was preaching during a worship service.
And a lady, an elderly lady, it was extremely hot in there. To be honest with you, to me, she looked like she had just failed, and she fell dead in the service. And do you know, they brought the lady on the pulpit. Her body was limp. If you ever see somebody, a dead person, it was no life in this lady. And they brought her on the pulpit, but Bishop never missed a beat. He kept on preaching to the people as they walked by.
Strengthen them, Lord. Strengthen them, Lord. Strengthen them, Lord. Strengthen them, Lord. Hallelujah, we bless you, God.
And as Bishop was continuing to preach, they brought the lady, put her on the pulpit. Pastor Junior, I looked at him, he grabbed his oar. He goes straight. When I say we serve under men, I don't care what circumstances around, they going with God.
Yes.
And he went straight to the lady. As he was about to lay his hand on him, I came with Pastor Julian and I straddled the lady. Pastor Julian put his hands on the lady. Bishop said, stretch forth your hand. And he had his back to us, towards the lady. He was telling the people in the congregation that. And he laid his hand on the lady, and this lady, it looked like she inflated. It looked like life just came back up in this lady, and she turned around, and when she turned around, she looked up, and she just started smiling as if, thank you. And the lady reached forth her hand, and she reached forth her hand directly towards me. And by me being with them, I'm like, okay, Lord, what is this? And I grabbed this lady's hand as if the Lord was telling me, feel it and see.
My God.
Like He told Thomas, put your hand in my side and see that this is real. I'm like, you done brought this lady back to life. And before I know it, every person in the congregation has rushed the pulpit and was on the altar and has given their life. Whatever they needed, they was getting it. I mean, the man of God went extremely hard in that place, and people were saved, they was healed, and even brought back to life. And I seen this with my own eyes.
Resurrection power for all to see. Glory to God. During this trip, our team witnessed souls receive salvation, people become filled with the Holy Ghost, teammates healed, and curses broken. We just can't share it all.
I mean, it was just amazing how Salome Ministry and Mt.Gilead has partnered together to change lives with the Word of God. Amen.